When the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. That is the synopsis for this movie, and it's pretty much what we get. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment down below. Batman is vengeance. As we've seen from the trailers, he has a very distinct name and presence in Gotham. One of my favorite sequences in this film is from the very beginning of the movie, with the voiceover from Bruce, as he's talking about his 2 years in Gotham under the mask, and how things have changed over the years, and how he's built and used fear as a tool. He cannot be everywhere at once, but the criminals of Gotham fear the shadows, even when he's not in them. And I think Matt got that point across in a very beautiful way, with the directing and the score behind it. It really made me get the feel for the tone of this movie right away, and I was absolutely ready for the rest of the ride to come. When it comes to the Batman and Bruce Wayne, they went with a Batman-heavy approach to this movie. Rob was in the Batsuit more than I anticipated in this movie. They really go heavy with Bruce Wayne is the mask, opposed to Batman being the mask. And as Bruce Wayne, he's not confident as himself, almost incapable of being Bruce Wayne. But as Batman, he is his true self. He thrives in it. You could even say he's almost addicted to being the Batman. But that being said, his Batman impressed me. It exceeded my expectations. I expected to be let down, but I was not. With his action scenes, they're really brought up by the directing and the score to be certain, because his action scenes could have been a little bit better. He gets shot a lot in this movie, which was cool to see, but then he could have used a little bit more skill instead of letting himself get shot that much. But at the same time, it was still cool scenes even though he was getting shot up. Still cool scenes there. I really love the detective aspect. They even have a detective mode like we've seen in the Arkham games, with like a video playback back in the Batcave. That was a really cool touch they added. I would have really liked to see, or at least had an idea of how the Batcave came to be and all the tech, but we're left to really just picture it. Gordon has a lot more screen time in this movie than I thought he would. You could even call it a buddy cop film with him and Batman. But in general, they did a really good job showing the relationship between the two, showing how Gordon would basically give up everything to make sure Batman is safe, because he thinks Batman's like doing the work for them. He thinks, we need Batman to protect the city, so he's really going on the line, putting his job on the line at all times to make sure Batman gets in these crime scenes like we've seen in the trailers, and to let Batman be as involved as he possibly can be to help protect the city and get to the bottom of the crimes going on. Alfred, there's a lot to be desired with Alfred. There's very little screen time with Alfred in this movie, with a 3-hour runtime, keep that in mind. But he does have a good emotional scene with Bruce Wayne, pushing forward the character development with Bruce to break through that mask of Bruce Wayne and to try to bring Bruce back to the surface as much as Alfred can, because Alfred always has more love for Bruce Wayne than he does for Batman. Obviously, he cares about Bruce Wayne. He's been taking care of him since he was a kid, so of course Alfred's gonna always care about Bruce at the forefront. The Riddler, Paul Dano, does a great job pushing the city of Gotham to their limits, but there is the typical moment of when villains have a certain presence with their mask on versus having their mask off. And we get that here with the Riddler, but even with the mask off, the Riddler still shows an unhinged personality, still gives you the creeps. The Riddler has a good job in this movie of leaving riddles. Obviously, he wants to be heard and seen by leaving riddles. Batman, solves a lot of riddles easily, like we've seen in the trailer. He reads a riddle, solves it. But just because he solves the riddle doesn't mean there aren't riddles attached to the riddle that was left at the crime scene. So there's a 3-hour movie. There's a lot of detective work going on with Batman and Jim Gordon. Like I said, it's like a buddy cop movie, which is really cool because you never see Gordon like that. So that was pretty cool. And Catwoman's here too. Catwoman gets involved at a certain point in the movie. She was a solid character, balancing the line between hero and villain. The chemistry between her and Batman had a nice build-up. There was an interesting play on the character's backstory, which I won't get into because I'm not doing spoilers like that. All in all, solid movie, great score, great acting, great direction. Giving this movie a grade at the moment, I think I would have to give it a solid B. There was a lot leaving me wanting more. There was a lot that satisfied me as well. So I'm open to more Batman movies, of course, within this world. And with Matt Reeves and Pattinson, to be honest. So let me know what y'all thought in the comments down below. If you liked it, where this might rank with your Batman movies. What your thoughts are on the movie in general. And until the next time, I'm just a guy with a camera and a mic.